2K Sports Pregame Show.
Welcome to 2K Sports, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, and Kenny the Jet Smith. Tonight, we'll be watching the Indiana Pacers playing against the Denver Nuggets. Well, for Denver, they're looking to come out strong and make their mark early. They have to look at this game as a great opportunity to do just that. Paul George came back last season from that injury, and it wasn't too much of a surprise, Kenny, how his absence revealed just how valuable a player he is.
Yeah, he's not just a scorer like a lot of great players supposedly great players are. He's got great defense. He's 6'9". He's hard to deal with a lot of small forwards because he towers over them.
And even though we've seen a lot of great highlights from this guy, people don't realize he's still a young guy. He's just now entering the prime, and the sky's the limit for this guy if he can stay injury-free.
Just about time for tip-off. Let Kevin Harlan, he's got the call as we go courtside. We'll see you later.
We'll see the Indiana Pacers and the Denver Nuggets. Buckle yourselves in, everybody. It's the NBA on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan with Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony.
It's been a nice clean game, huh?
So Indiana wins the tip. All fueled up and ready to go. Brought to you by Gatorade. Let's check out who's on the floor. On the court right now for the Pacers, they've got Paul George. Turner is out there with Allen. Then it's Ellis, and it's Hill in at the 1 spot. Allen, good. The assist goes to Hill. Allen's got the first points up on the board for Indiana.
That pass into the paint, that is a work of art there, dead on target. And guys, no doubt George Hill had it rough last season. He missed the first 28 games with that left knee injury. Came back for 5, then missed another 11 games before his season got going. But you know what? He had one of his most productive years from that point on.
Now here is Hill. He dishes it to George. Can't get it to go. Now the Nuggets take it the other way. Chandler outside. Screen by Fareed. Fareed setting the pick for Chandler. 13 feet away, and he knocks down the jumper. And here is Hill. Again, Doris Burke spoke with Mike Malone. Doris?
And of course, he said a big key for them will be trying to minimize Monte Ellis's impact offensively. He added, he's one of the best in the league at blowing by his defender and finishing at the rim. We've got to force him left, and then at the other end, make sure we go at him defensively and see that he expends some energy there as well. Kevin, defense not Ellis's strong suit seems like a smart plan.
All right, Doris, thank you very much.
Well, Merry Christmas. I mean, that was a freebie.
The Pacers have gone 1 of 3 from the field to start this one so far. Hill kicks to Turner. Stolen by Fareed. Foy with it. The dish to Moutier. Screen by Fareed. Now here's Moutier. Baseline jumper. Hill pulls it in.
That's a surprise. I mean, really out of character for him to miss when the defense is not right up on it.
Pass to George. Six to shoot, and Turner kicks to Ellis. Indiana moving the ball around. Here's George, got a piece of it. Now 4, pass to Moutier. To the wing on the left. Screen by Fareed. Gallinari wide open, drains the three-pointer. Gallinari's got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game.
How in the world did they let him get that wide open? You know, for the Pacers last season, with Paul George being out for most of the season, they knew it would be a struggle. They would go into lengthy dry spells that made it hard for them to keep pace in the East, in part because they missed Paul George's all-around brilliance and his offense.
Here's Foy. It's rebounded by Indiana. And first quarter, we're about 3.5 minutes in. Outside, George. Good, and the assist goes to Ellis. As for those dry spells you mentioned about the Pacers, GA, they had a number of long losing streaks last season.
Yeah, as a team, they had 4 different losing streaks of 6 or more games, and they got hot at the end. Season-high win streak of 6 to stay playoff relevant. It was just too little, too late compared to their losing streaks earlier in the year.
Yusuf Nurkic, he's checked in for Denver. And the Pacers also making a change. Mahimi's checked in for Turner. And Foy kicks to Gallinari. Denver needs to get off a shot, and that one's good. Fareed's got his first basket.
Yeah, sloppy D there. You can't let him get the ball in his hands down there.
Extremely untidy on the defensive end. I mean, when he gets it in that close, that's an easy bucket.
Now here's Ellis. He hasn't scored yet. That I'm sure will change. Nobody near Allen. And it's good off the back of the rim and in.
The entire defense was frozen-footed. Nobody picked up the shooter, Kevin.
Here's Moutier. To the inside. Here's Nurkic. Rebound by Mahimi.
That's terrific defense right there to prevent from converting in close.
Ellis kicks to Hill. Back to Ellis. 1:11 left in the first. Pass to Mahimi, and down it goes. Dunked through off a wonderful assist.
Superb playmaking from Monte Ellis. That dish was right on time.
Nuggets call timeout. Your Nuggets dancers!
Different look for Denver. J.J. Hickson, he's checked in for Kenneth Fareed. Will Barton comes in for Randy Foy. And Nelson is subbed in for Moutier. Then for the Pacers, Jordan Hill, he's checked in for Lavoy Allen. C.J. Miles comes in for George. Rodney Stuckey's subbed in for Ellis. Here's Barton. There's 48 seconds left in the first quarter. The Nuggets with another miss. They can trade 2 for 1 here.
Would be the right move, I believe, right now.
Pick up by Hill. Outside Hill. Pick up by Hill. There's the feed to Mahimi. And no good. Had a chance to take the lead. Denver's gone 1 of 2 from long range in the first quarter. Kicks in a screen. Hill against Nelson. From deep, Gallinari. And the rebound goes to the Pacers. Can't get it to fall. It's all tied in Denver. And don't go away. We'll be back with the action for the start of the second quarter in just a moment.
I gotta hold down the city. Gotta let you know where I come from.
And talk to Monte Ellis. He says he feeds off his doubters. He loves to hear someone say what he can't do.
I think I had that all my life. I always had to prove somebody wrong, and still to this day, That's just the competitiveness that I believe my oldest brother built into me when I was little.
And Monte Ellis is still trying to prove people wrong now in Dallas after their quick exit from the playoffs a season ago. Clark, it's been a decade in the league now for this very talented guard.
And you know, that kind of relentless determination is really something Monte is known for, and one of the reasons he has been around for 10 years in the NBA as a consistently good player and lethal scorer.
And off we go, a close game now starting the second quarter. And the Nuggets, guys, what jumps out to you numbers-wise?
It's been about the pace. You can see they're going to try to keep this game in the open floor.
Yeah, and you know, it's been a tempo that they like, and they're getting some easy buckets in transition here.
Wilson Chandler out there with Hickson. Then it's Will Barton. Then it's Nelson. And it's Nurkic in at the 5 down low. That's the group on the floor for Denver.
Really strong rebounding on the interior, and he gets the easy putback.
The Nuggets trail. And here's Nelson. He's had some playing time, but no scoring yet from him. Here's Barton. They get it again. Hickson with the bucket.
And that's his strong suit, the ability to find his way through the D and finish at the rim.
Your Nuggets dancers.
The Nuggets with some changes. Kenneth Faried's checked in for Nurkic. Foy comes in for Will Barton. And it's Moutier in for Jameer Nelson. Indiana also making some changes. Turner's checked in for Mahinmi. Paul George comes in for C.J. Miles. And it's Ellis in for Rodney Stuckey. Now here's Ellis. Quiet so far offensively, searching for his first points of the game. Outside Hill. Pick up by Hill. Hill kicks to Hill. Bounces high off the rim and drops. Hill's got the lead up to 2 now for the Pacers.
And he came off that screen, and the D just didn't get over the top of it.
Yep, weren't there in time enough to challenge Greg, and when that's the case, you can mark those up for him.
Now perhaps one of the most intriguing draft picks of this past summer, Emmanuel Moutier, can be a game-changing player, was going to play, Clark, as you recall, at SMU for Larry Brown.
He sure was, and went overseas instead, so we don't know a ton about him other than his reputation is sterling. Now we'll see if he can live up to it.
And that'll be Indiana as it goes out of bounds. Pacers retain possession. The Pacers making a switch here. Allen's checked in. And here in the second, 2 minutes gone by. There's a good screen. George with no one around. And Randy Foy gets the whistle that time. That is his first foul of the game.
Randy Foy. First team foul.
And here's George for 3. No good. Now Denver takes it the other way.
And how about Moutier, guys? He has a very interesting upbringing. Born in the Congo, grew up in Texas, then spent last season in China. Already a very well-traveled young man for a player of his age.
Now here is Hill. He's been patient so far, nothing yet on the scoreboard. He feeds it to Allen. 11 feet away, and the shot counts. He's fouled, and it's a chance for a 3-point play.
Yeah, exceptional play there to take the bump and still get it to fall.
I like to call that stick-to-itiveness, Greg. Getting everything he possibly could out of that play. Nicely done.
Good call.
Hill, he's checked in for George Hill.
And you know, with Moutier, you can't ignore what he does on the court. He has amazing size at the point guard spot, excellent vision, and is a natural playmaker for his squad. And you know, guys, a high-energy post player like Kenneth Faried excels at doing the dirty work. As a matter of fact, he's nicknamed the Manimal for good reason. Very few players in the league possess this combination of energy and aggressiveness.
I mean, even from over here, you could see that one pretty clearly.
No question about it, Greg. I mean, a ton of contact and a good call by the official.
Talking about Faried, a rebounder extraordinaire. His explosiveness, long arms, and huge hands help him compensate for his relative lack of size.
And he has that exceptional shot blocker instincts. I mean, the timing's there. He'll also steal the ball from you. The question now becomes, will he always be that role, effort, energy player, or will he develop eventually the offensive skills needed to see him reach the next level?
And that's good as he hits both of his shots.
You know, Kenneth Faried was named to the NBA All-Rookie First Team 4 years ago. Took the league by storm with his energy and hustle. Looked like the sky was the limit for him, but every year since then, his numbers have looked very similar.
Timely passing leads to assists, and that's been the recipe for success.
Everybody on the same page, completely in sync, tremendous communication and awareness.
Moutier, no good. Pacers leading by 3. Getting back to Faried, the numbers through last season tell a very interesting story. His field goal percentage has gone down every year, while his free throw percentage has gone up every year.
Yeah, his rebounds, assists, steals, block numbers have all stayed relatively flat. You know, he's making a positive contribution, but maybe not at the level of that contract extension he signed back in 14.
Nice shot by Ford.
That's the kind of D that you're not going to find success with, guys. They've got to get a hand in the face.
Now what's the pass to Hill? Will not go. This is off the front iron. For Denver, they've gone 50% from the floor in the second quarter, 3 of 6. Moutier dishes to Ford. Screen by Faried. Inside, Turner with the steal. And George, here we go. Hill, the shot's good on the assist by George.
Yeah, I love the communication and the chemistry between those teammates.
The Nuggets trail by 4.
Denver calls time. Now on the court, your very own Nuggets dancers. Let them hear it.
Has some information for us, Doris.
I was able to listen in on what Frank Vogel had to say to his team. He said their plan was run their offense through Allen. Coach emphasized getting him as many touches as possible, saying he is going to be one of the guys to carry us the rest of the way. Maybe making those early adjustments will give them time to judge their effectiveness by halftime. We'll soon find out, Kevin.
Thanks, Doris.
It really was a slow start for Gallinari last season. Took him a while to get back to speed after missing all of the 2013-14 season with that torn ACL.
Gallinari did get better and better over time, and he improved. He started to get back to his former self near the end of the season.
Yeah, had that huge 47-point explosion towards the end of last season. And listen, he's still a young guy and hopefully can continue to build after his injury woes.
That's also good, so he hits both free throws.
They've been getting more and more physical as this game has gone along.
And it's starting to pay dividends. They've gotten a lot of trips to the line because of it in this second.
Now here is Hill. That one falls, his second basket of the game. He's now 2 for 3.
Really, the defense is helpless to stop a layup right there. Just too much of an advantage in terms of the mismatch.
Screen by Nurkic. Here's Barton. He's had some playing time, but no scoring yet from him. And the rejection by Mahimi. Outside Hill. Stuckey right side. And it's off the back rim. No good. The Nuggets trail by 4. Now the pass to Gallinari. To the middle. Out to Chandler. Shot clock at 5. Fires from 14. And he hits the jumper for 2.
And when he breaks out the crossover, you can be sure he's going to leave somebody in his wake.
Stuckey with it. Here's the screen. Beyond the arc. And it would have counted had it fallen, but it's offline. And a pretty tightly contested game here as we end the first half. It's the Pacers. They're up by 2. And now we'll send it down to Doris Burke, who's standing by courtside.
Kevin, thank you. Here with Frank Vogel. And, Coach, you've got to be pleased with that first half. The ball was moving. Your guys were sharing. Things were going well for you. What about it pleased you?
Yeah, the game is simple when you make the extra pass, when you play the right way. We start out playing this way. We got to continue it for 4 quarters.
Thank you, Frank. Back to you, Kevin.
Thanks so much, Doris, and we'll step away briefly, but get you right back in there for the start of the third quarter after this break.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
I would call that a competitive first half of action. Ernie Johnson here welcoming you back to the 2K Sports Halftime Show with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. For the Pacers, the first quarter was pretty even. Nothing seemed to give way on either side of the scoring column as they wrapped up the period all knotted up. The second quarter was a strong effort for them as they continued to battle, and they were able to close out the half in a good position. And Kenny, what'd you think about what we saw from Indiana?
Well, the reserves really came through when they needed a spark. This is a close game. Any points you can get from your bench are huge. I thought the bench guys came in and inserted themselves like they wanted a starting spot. And that's what you want. Subs who are ready to produce the moment they step on the floor.
And you, big fella, let's get your thoughts on the Nuggets.
You know, they didn't play it too safe. They made some really nice shots. Those are some much-needed points, and it keeps them right in the game. As long as they stay on the same page and keep working together, they got a great chance to take control of this game.
All right, that is going to wrap up our halftime report as it's just about time for the start of the third quarter.
Your Nuggets dancer!
And it's been a back-and-forth game so far with no ground given through the first half. Third quarter starting here now. Here's Foy.
And guys, a lot of problems for the Nuggets last year. Ended the season with a 30-52 record and really struggled even against the Eastern Conference.
On the court for Indiana, George Hill out there with Ellis. Then there's Allen. Then it's Paul George, and it's Turner in at the pivot spot manning the middle. Now here's George following the miss by Emmanuel Mudiay. Ellis outside. Just 4 to shoot. Indiana needs to get a shot off. It's hauled in by the Nuggets. And for the Nuggets struggling against the East, something they aren't used to doing. They usually pile on the wins when they take on that conference.
Yeah, typically that's the case, but the Nuggets won only 11 games against the East, tied for second lowest amongst Western Conference teams. That's the first losing record against the East for the Nuggets since 2004.
Kept alive, Allen. Solid play in the low block, and that one's good. Allen's got the first basket of the second half. That one for Indiana. The Nuggets trail by 4. Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time getting the lid off the basket so far.
And Foy kicks to Gallinari. And he makes good on the layup. Gallinari's got 7 points.
Check out these handles. That's rush hour handle. Not midday, not early morning. That's rush hour handle. That nasty spin just froze the defender.
Now here is Hill. Looking for his first basket still in this one. And he was fouled in the act of shooting. Chance here now for a 3-point play.
How about that move? Is this guy special or what? Just love watching him operate inside.
Denver making a switch here. Hickson's checked in, and a change for the Pacers. Jordan Hill, he's checked in for Lavoy Allen. For Indiana, they have gone 0 for 1 at the line. This is their second trip to the line tonight. Indiana didn't have a great record on the road last season. Only went Clark 15-26 on the year, and it cost them down the stretch.
It really did, Kevin. I mean, the Pacers had a bumpy year with all of the injuries, particularly with George being out for most of the year. His absence was most noted in those tough road games, I think.
The Pacers have gone 2 of 4 here to start the second half. Ellis outside. Kicks it to George. Here's the floater. Everyone understands the importance of Paul George to the ball club. That's why taking his offensive game to the next level would be so beneficial.
Yeah, he has all the physical tools, the instincts, and obviously he has made those strides. But if he wants to become a top 5 guy, he's still got a little bit of work to do in terms of his game.
He's off on the first. And the second free throw, good.
Yeah, disappointing not to convert all of them, but he did get the one to give them the lead.
Just under 2.5 minutes into the third quarter now. Gallinari against George. And Gallinari kicks to Mudiay. Now, here is 4. He has 5.
For my man PG, Paul George, so much focus has been on extending his range, but ever since he started launching over 5 3-pointers a game, he shot under 43% from the field. Maybe time for him to balance out that shot selection.
And guys, talking about Paul George, the continued improvement of his ball handling is key to generating more offense. That was a weakness of his coming out of college. He's worked on it, but making it a strength the way LeBron has would go a long way toward getting him to that next level.
And that one falls, and that puts him up by 1 point.
Boy, and for Randy Foy, I thought it was a big bounce-back year for him last season. His points per game were the highest they've been in 5 years, and his field goal percentage was the highest it's been in 5 years as well.
They get it back. Shot's good by Turner. Turner's got his first bucket in this one.
Well, they certainly didn't have much of a problem getting the ball into the post that time.
Yeah, and that's important because this game may ultimately come down to which team controls the paint in crunch time.
Talking about Randy Foye last year, one difference is that he started almost every game, 78 the most in his career. That may have given him, Greg, additional confidence. Who knows?
Well, where I was impressed, Kevin, with his improvement was as a facilitator and rebounder. He seemed to lose his mojo for a few years in there, but last season, I really feel like he got it back.
Outside Hill. Pick up by Hill. The drive by Hill. He kicks to Hill. Outside, George. Fires top of the key. And it hung on the rim, but wouldn't fall for him.
No doubt he's struggling right now from the field. Let's see if he can get it going this quarter.
Fareed, blanketed by the D, fights to the rim for the layup. Fareed's got 6. For Indiana, they've gone an even 50% from the floor here in the third quarter. 4 of 8. Hill kicks to George. And the layup is good. And the Pacers lead by 3.
That's a terrific move to the basket. The defense played that one well, but it didn't make any difference.
Nuggets call timeout. Now on the court, your very own Nuggets dancers. Let them hear it.
Different look for Denver. Norkic checked in for Kenneth Fareed. Will Barton comes in for Randy Foye. And Nelson is subbed in for Moutier. Indiana also making some changes. Mahimi's checked in for Turner. C.J. Miles comes in for George. Rodney Stuckey's subbed in for Ellis. 1:44 left in the third. And it's sent back by Hill. On the wing, Stuckey. Good, and it's Hill picking up the assist. Hill's got 4 assists in the game. And a moment here to take a look at some of the hustle stats for the Pacers.
You know, block shots, guys, a clear indicator on the stat sheet of their excellent defense. I mean, leaving them no room to get off any shot.
And also the ball hawking, the way they've come up with the steals, the way they've harassed the ball handler all day, forcing mistakes. They've really done a nice job of taking it in.
3 on the clock, and here's Gallinari outside. No good, he's missed 3, and he's made 4 of his 7. Hill passes to Stuckey. It's back to Hill. And the rebound by Nurkic.
That's not a sight you see very often. I mean, he has a great feel for that jump shot, especially when he's open.
And with that shot, the Indiana lead is cut down to just 3 in the basket from Nelson.
You can see that they're not as aggressive from the three-point arc. They had far more attempts in the first half.
Here's Hill after the made shot from Jameer Nelson. Outside Hill. Dishes to Hill. Hickson grabs the board. Hickson's got his 4th rebound in this one. 3-second difference between shot clock and game clock. Barton kicks to Nelson. Feeds it to Barton. Nurkic a screen on Stuckey. Barton no luck. Here's Miles, and that's not going to go. We're at the end of the third, and we've still got a close one. Pacers lead by 3. We're going to step aside for just a second, but join us right back here for the start of the 4th quarter next.
Come on with it. Me and you getting it on, don't even go there. Come on with it.
Welcome back as we get rolling once more. The fourth quarter right ahead in what's been a very well-contested game. Pacers leading by 3. Fareed and Nurkic in the middle. Moutier out there with 4. And it's Chandler in at the 3 slot. That's the group on the floor for Denver. Now, here's Mahinmi. He dishes it to George. Shot clock at 6. From 12 feet out. That's good. George has got the fourth quarter started here with a bucket for the Pacers.
Offensively, he can be the engine that drives them at any given time.
Hits. Count that one from Nurkic.
You know, it's really going to be all about hard work from this point on. And they worked hard to create that high-quality shot right there.
No question. That's their goal down the stretch here. I think finding those close-range rhythm shots.
It's George on the wing. And 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle and a lot of contact there.
You know, if you're looking to build a small forward and there wasn't a LeBron James template, you might go with PG, Paul George. Height, length, athleticism, that combination off the charts with him. And he's got a nice, unflappable demeanor, too.
That one is off. Yeah, talking about Paul George, a big part of his dominance, his attitude. He doesn't yell or pump his fist. He's really the quiet assassin.
Yeah, once he maxes out in the weight room, which he will, now that he's in his mid-20s, I think he's going to be an Adonis. I mean, exactly the kind of physique you're looking for in a prototype at the small forward.
And he sinks the second.
You know, the Nuggets could create their offense, but they still would have trouble knocking down the shots. Just didn't have a lot of dead-eye laser shooters. Every field goal attempt with them was an adventure.
Now here's Fareed. Here's Moutier, and it's going to be out of bounds. The Pacers will take it.
I tell you what, that's just a major unforced error right there, guys. My goodness.
We're just over a minute into this final quarter of play. Ellis dishes to George. Pass to Turner. Passes it to Stuckey. Clock at 6. In the corner, George with it. Trains the three-pointer. George has got 6 points in the quarter. Nuggets did have their problems on the offensive end, too, something that's rare for them, hitting the open shot and the mid-range shot and beyond being one of them.
You know, Kevin, how about being last in the league in catch-and-shoot field goal percentage? I mean, got a good amount of looks that way, but really struggled shooting only 34% in those situations.
And here's Moutier after Paul George getting his 3 to go. Set it up with the fake, but it's offline. The 3 ball, and the Pacers another 3.
They've done a terrific job of getting offensive rebounds and then converting those here in the second half. I mean, it's one thing to get the offensive rebound, but they've turned them all into points.
Let's get this update now from Doris Burke, who's across the way on the sideline.
Hey, Kevin, during that last break, I heard Mike Malone as he addressed his team. He actually lit into them pretty heavily, saying, "We're being way too soft on the inside. I'd better start to see some toughness and more shots being challenged. No more easy baskets. Pretty strong words, guys.
Just under 2.5 minutes gone here in the final quarter. And again, Denver no good. Indiana leading by 10. Stuckey outside. The dish to Turner. Puts it up from 17. And that one goes long. Denver's gone 3 of 6 tonight when they've let it fly from downtown. Here's Foy, not wasting any time and taking the shot and knocking it down.
And really smart to draw his man out to the perimeter. He's giving up too much size to be effective inside.
Showed nice basketball IQ. I agree, Greg. I mean, if he finds his spot on the perimeter and doesn't force it, I think his outside shot will be hard to block no matter who's defending him.
Now on the court, your very own Nuggets dancers. Let them hear it.
He's checked in for Indiana. Here's George, and he uses the glass on the layup. George has got the lead up to 10 now for the Pacers.
Wow, unconscious has he been this quarter. They're riding that hot hand.
Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
And really the defense fouling there to prevent the layup, but that's exactly what you need to do.
It is. I mean, no reason to back off and give him the layup. I mean, much better off making him go to the line.
Emmanuel Mudiay. 2 shots.
That free throw, no good. Good on the second free throw. A look at the clock, a little under 3.5 minutes gone here in the fourth. Ellis, the pass to Hill. On the wing, George. Gallinari with the steal. Here's Foy. Good work defensively by Turner.
They've done their part here to run down a lot of missed shots. A solid rebounding effort.
Yeah, energy has been the difference, and they're fighting for every loose ball and giving as good as they get on the inside.
Fourth quarter of play, and over 3.5 minutes have gone by. Gallinari against George. Floats one.
No other way to put it. Just a poor shooting performance for him, but luckily his teammates have picked up the slack.
And Turner with the block. Now the Pacers moving it up. Hill leading the charge. Ellis kicks to George. Here's Turner, and down it goes, jamming that one home.
And Kevin, the knack for the offensive rebound are a big part of what makes this guy special.
Not to mention, Greg, his ability to finish with strength just like that.
Yeah, he's an invaluable asset for them to have. No question about it.
Now here is Hill, following the miss by Emmanuel Mudiay. Turner against Chandler. Turner dishes to Ellis. Just 5 on the clock. Shoots from 14, and it's Denver with the rebound. Fareed's got his 3rd rebound tonight. Wide open. That's good. 1:06 left here in the fourth quarter. Pacers leading by 9. Hill kicks to George. Out of bounds. Denver takes possession.
And really just a lack of awareness on his part. Just no idea he was right near the line.
Your Nuggets dancers.
Here's Gallinari. And so he draws the foul on the shot on trip to the line to shoot 2.
Terrific game for Gallinari. 12 points, and also those active hands of his have led to a pair of steals.
He can just change a game with his defense, and he's thrown off their rhythm completely the last several possessions.
Gallinari at the line for 2.
So the first one drops, and that brings them within 8. He hits both from the stripe. 52 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Gallinari against George. Hill passes to George. Pick up by Hill. Turner dishes to Ellis. 5 on the clock. It's Allen on the wing. Pass to George. And once again off the mark by Indiana.
Well, the comeback hopes are out the window now. I think it's safe to say.
Yeah, it's done deal. It's wrap time for this group.
And it's Gallinari again missing. Now Hill. So it's Indiana picking up the win. This was a hard-fought, well-earned victory for him, Greg. They really had to work for this win.
That's a good point. I mean, weaker teams might have buckled at the end with the crowd amped up, everyone in the building kind of rooting against you, but they stood tall and pulled it out.
Well said. And now let's catch up with Doris Burke, who's standing by on the sideline. Doris?
Guys, Paul George standing by with me here. And Paul, first, congratulations on the win. What's the attitude you have as a team right now?
Continue to, play together, and we can just stick to that, keep working, staying confident, keep defending, and knocking shots down. We'll be all right.
Paul, thank you so much. Guys, over to you.
Thank you, Doris. Great interview once again. And that about wraps it up. This is Kevin Harlan saying thank you for tuning in. So long, everyone.
The 2K Sports Postgame Show.
Thank you, Kevin. And now let's move on to the presentation of our Jordan Player of the Game, Paul George. He had just an outstanding fourth quarter performance. He really had the fire lit under him, and down the stretch, really having a huge impact on the outcome of this game.
It's all about the production. I mean, nothing really fazed this guy tonight. He was the primary option. They needed a bucket. He delivered. He didn't have any problem scoring. They never really had a way to slow him down. Come on.
He was on his game tonight from an offensive standpoint. whether it was scoring the basketball or distributing. He gave the defense all sorts of problems. I love seeing a player in that kind of offensive rhythm that he was in tonight. He commanded the situation at all times.
And that's it for our broadcast here tonight. But we're just getting started on a new season in the NBA. For Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith, Kevin Harlan, and the entire 2K Sports crew, I'm Ernie Johnson. We'll see you again soon.